I'm Ann Nagley. I work with Vicki. I met her back in August of 2006 when I started working at our agency. And I always like to tell people the first time I met her was in her office, and it was all decked out in American flags and real patriotic. And I thought it was kind of funny because July 4th had been a month and a half before that, and my first impression was, wow, this woman really loves America. But it turns out that that month she had just been introduced as a citizen in the United States because she's originally from Canada. So the flags had nothing to do with the 4th of July, but she was now an American citizen. And since that day, Vicki has been my supervisor at work. She has been my mentor. She is the reason that I'm in grad school right now, getting my MSW, and she's also a very, very close friend of mine. Vicki and I work at a mental health facility. I'm the intake coordinator, so I take all the initial phone calls and set people up with a therapist. Vicki is the supervisor to all the therapists, and she's also my direct supervisor. And every week, all of us on staff meet one-on-one with her for about an hour a week to talk about how our jobs are going, what things could be better, how things could be done differently. So she hears a lot of complaining and ranting from all of us. And it's a frustrating role for her to be in, I know that, because she can't change everything, even though she's the type of person that wants to. She wants to make this community better, she wants to make this world better, and that's what we all want really at work. But for her to be there supporting us, dealing with the daily frustrations, it's just outstanding. And she smiles and she's positive, and she gives all of us that hope to come back another day to serve the people in our community. When I found out that Vicki was diagnosed with cancer, I was in complete shock. She had been, to me, the epitome of a healthy woman. She ate good, ate well. She did jazzercise several times a week. In fact, she took me one time with her, and I won't say how much younger I am than her, but I couldn't even keep up with her. And so for her to be diagnosed with something like breast cancer was completely shocking. She went around living life to its fullest, a very positive person, and I was in shock. And then it hit me that it can happen to anybody, and even though it happened to her, she never let it get her down. She still came to work every day, even through the chemotherapy and the radiation and everything she went to. She showed up at work, she had a smile on. She was there to still guide us and be supportive to us in our role. And the whole time I'm thinking, this isn't right. We should be there supporting her, and we should be the one holding her hand and getting her through this. And yet she was holding our hands and walking with us through the journey. The last 2 years for Vicki, I know, have been some of the most difficult in her life. And what's really cool is that when we were at work, she opened up her journey to all of us, and she would send us emails, and they were called her pink time. And you knew what they meant, that it was part of her breast cancer treatments, or she'd throw things out there about how she was doing. And she always invited us to ask her questions. She didn't want to just be sheltered in her office, but she would say, if there's ever anything you want to know about what I'm going through, please come and talk to me about it. And we would, we'd check in. How are you doing? How's the chemo going? Do you need a ride anywhere? And I know the hardest part for Vicki on her journey that we talked about a lot was when she lost her hair. And the first time it was the first time I ever saw her cry in 4 years was when she was in her office telling me that the chemo, she was losing her hair and she was going to go and have to have her head shaved. And I looked at her and I said, Vicki, hair doesn't matter. It's stupid. Hair is stupid. You don't need it. You're beautiful. I even offered to go and get my head shaved with her because it doesn't matter. She is a beautiful person with hair, without hair. And to me, that was one of the moments where we truly kind of bonded as friends, was when she opened herself up to me and cried and said, this is going to be so hard. But it let me know that she needs support too, and that I could be there for her. So her pink time emails would come out, and we know she was on her way to get treatment. And she'd share kind of little snippets about her life and things that were going on. she's there for you 100%. And you know, even just last year, my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I knew I could come to her and tell her how much it sucked to find out that a member of my family, you know, had cancer, and she was completely supportive, and you know, I'm here for you, is there anything I can do? And this is when she's still coming off all the, you know, treatments and waiting to find out, does she have it, was she in remission, what was going on? And so for her to, you know, put her arms around me and say, it's going to be okay, and if there's anything you need from me, let me know. Just a complete inspiration. And she's so positive. I mean, she's the type where you walk into her office and she's got cards everywhere, you know, positive, affirmative messages, and she's not afraid to bring them out and say, here, read this, and this will help you get through the day. And so she truly is a very inspiring person, and helped me get through that rough time with my family. I think Vicki should share her story because it is truly unique. She has told me before that she's nobody special, and I'd have to say that she's not, because she's somebody who's extra special. And she's like so many women in so many different ways. I mean, she has so much in common with other women that her story would be one to give everybody in the world hope to get through this. She has those things that are unique about her, but she has the things that make her the same as everybody else. And so for her to share her story, it could bring hope to others that they're so much like her, that they can get through the same things.